Hello and welcome to Horror Rewind. This is Kelly Florence.
And I'm Meg Hofdahl.
And today we're talking about our book tour. Woo!
Books, 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 books,
Books,
books.
books. Now, we've talked about this before, but it was a funny time because 2020 was really busy for us in planning because we had two books coming out in 2020 and we were going to go on multiple book tours to multiple cities and multiple destinations, many things, and wah,
Wah, wah. Yep, just like everybody else, we had to change our plans, but that's okay because um I think we got lots of work done in 2020 and learned some new things, and I learned how to cross stitch. So
yeah.
really,
We're all winners. Just kidding. Well, actually, we are because you made me a gift and I love it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So anyway, but here we are in 2021. I think everyone's feeling really good right now. I hope they are. I hope everyone's feeling hopeful and excited.
Yeah, I think so. And also, even though we didn't get to physically go, excuse me, physically go to places, we got to do a lot of virtual events, which was fun. And it's been this new way to connect with people. You know, it was in a safe way, and we met a lot of cool people. And now we're gonna be on the road, baby.
Woo! I mean, it's time. We're going out. We're traveling again. So we're going to New York.
Yeah, so we're going to be there in 4 days, friends. Next Tuesday, June 15th, we're presenting at this really cool science-themed venue / bar called Caveat. If you haven't been there before, it's super rad. You get to get a little bit smarter and a little bit drunker. That's their tagline. And if you come out, we're going to talk about our two books that came out in 2020, The Science of Women in Horror and The Science of Stephen King. There's going to be drinks that can be delivered straight to your table. We're going to have trivia. There's going to be prizes. Like, what more do you want for a night out?
I know. And it kind of works out too, because it's two book tours in one. And so you get to come and hear about both books, which we would have previously spread out. So,
yeah.
So we're going to be dropping knowledge about Stephen King, about the science in his books. We're going to have our feminist agenda right up there, talking about Science of Women in Horror, our Bram Stoker nominated book. So it's just going to be us up there chatting away, and we're going to take questions. And yeah, there's going to be trivia with prizes, and there's literally alcohol. So it's going to be fun. I'm so excited. I can't wait to just be in New York City and feel the thrum of the city. And also, something very important at Caveat, in order to get in, you have to prove that you're vaccinated with like a card or a picture, right?
Yeah. And so that's, science-based science. If
Yeah.
I know you don't have time now, friends, in 4 days to get vaccinated. But yeah, it's so exciting. And they're raising capacity in New York City by then.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's all good news. So if you need tickets, go on their website, caveatnyc.com, and you can scroll down and see. And also they have a lot of cool events going on at Caveat, like every night. So go ahead and check those out too, because it's all about science and learning. And, we love it. There are people.
Yeah, exactly. And like we get to bring in our horror agenda in there too. So it's like we get our horror and science, which of course are the things that we love, and we can't wait to do it. We did it once before and it was so fun there at Caveat. And so I think, there's always nerves when we go and do things like this, but I think after being in quarantine for over a year and having done it before and everything, I'm just excited. Like I'm ready.
Yeah, we are ready.
I'm so ready.
And we have so many friends out in New York, and we can't wait to see them, and we can't wait to see you, listeners. So come out and see us.
Yes, for sure.
Now, speaking of tour, I know this is a little bit far ahead of time, but LA listeners, if you're listening, know that our next book, The Science of Serial Killers, is coming out in October, and we're going to be in LA on October 16th at Dark Delicacies. Meg, do you want to tell everybody about that?
Yeah, so Dark Delicacies has a long tradition of supporting horror authors. I have never been there, but I'm already preparing. I want to bring like an empty suitcase because it sounds like they have so many amazing things to buy there, books and other things. So we are going to be signing our books there, The Science of Serial Killers, and I think our other books too. But I'm like so excited for that, but I'm also really excited to do some shopping.
Yeah, I know, equally
Yeah.
equally excited.
So I'll try to sit down and actually do the signing. Maybe I should go there early and get all my shopping done first.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And we also, besides LA, we'll be in other places. We have some things and presentations booked already in September. But just keep your eye out because the world is opening up and we're traveling.
Yay. And if you all know like a good place where you think that we would fit in our little horror and science, let us know. Say like, hey, I know this con or I know this bookstore, and we'd love to check it out because it's nice to have like a suggestion of a place that might be cool.
Now, the fun thing about this next book that's coming out in October, The Science of Serial Killers, is that we are starting to meet people who are more into true crime than horror, and we're kind of already we're kind of bringing some of them into our world. It's like, oh, like these horror movies are based on this. Oh, there goes my ring. It was like a magic. It was like a magic trick, and so that's been the fun thing is that now. We learned a lot. I mean, I know you already knew a lot, but learned a lot about true crime. And, but now we're teaching some true crime people about horror, right? So we're combining worlds.
Well, it's funny because true crime and horror often are kind of separate. And like, for instance, my mom is like a true crime fanatic, but she's like, oh, I would never watch like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, like, you know what I mean? So there are a lot of people who are very much in that true crime camp, but they don't like the idea of like the fantasy or the fiction. So it is kind of cool to fuse them together and be like, well, okay, but did you know this or did you know that? And you might like this movie or, so it's kind of fun to bridge that gap for sure. And we're going to bring all the true crime people over into our horror world and vice versa.
Yes. Now, okay, speaking of this, I just saw on Twitter there's some new Ted Bundy movie and people are pissed about it. Have you seen this?
Oh, well, I saw some people. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we need a new Ted Bundy movie, but
a guy in response said, here's my screenplay.
Yes.
It's like fade in. He was an
asshole. Billy Jensen. Yeah. He's from the true crime world. Yes. Yeah, he was just like, he's an asshole, the end. Yeah, I think something that we tried to do with our book, and this is something that I'm going to keep repeating over and over, is we really didn't want to put these serial killers on a pedestal, and we really wanted to talk about the science and not make them sound like some sort of mythological savant who is really good at killing. I mean, these were losers and bad people. And I think that let's not make a Ted Bundy movie. Like, think of all the women in the world who haven't had a movie about them yet.
Yeah.
That haven't killed anybody.
Yeah. There you go. So it's like we are very focused on, okay, yeah, maybe here's the facts and what happened, but we're going to turn our lens, we're going to shift our gaze, and we're going to look at the actual science and be respectful of families and victims and never be like, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah, exactly. Because these guys they were not cool. They were losers. And every Ted Bundy, sure, people like to be like, he was charming or whatever. I mean, he was just a loser.
Yeah.
There's nothing. And yeah, he was depraved and he's fascinating. I mean, I've always loved true crime. I've always been fascinated by these people, but I think it's really important to separate the two. Like, there's this idea of like young women in particular becoming obsessed with the Columbine dudes and their that was in that book.
The third you.
Yeah, but that, I mean, that's based on reality. There are these girls who like read Dylan's poetry and like they put him on this strange pedestal, and that's what we want to avoid.
Yes, I agree. Now, speaking of books, we are currently working on our fifth installment of the Science of Horror book series, which is the Science of Witchcraft. And there are so many fascinating topics that we have discovered already, and we're not even done, and so many amazing people we got to interview so far. Like you're not even going to believe it, friends.
I know. And we're becoming witches, right? I think by doing this much research, we're pretty much just like by osmosis becoming witches.
I know. I feel it. It's
Yeah,
very exciting.
feel our power. But yeah, I don't know a lot about witchcraft. It's not something that I like, have experienced a lot of or been around or anything like that. So it's been a really neat ride. And also I've been watching movies I haven't seen before and things like that. And that's been fun, or revisiting movies or going, oh yeah, that was a witch,
Yep.
like I forgot.
I know,
and things
it's like
that.
making me watch things in a different way. And
Yeah.
it's like opening up a world to me.
Yes. Yeah, it is. And I think that there's such a power in it for, well, women, but I think anyone. And I don't know, there's something kind of nice about like the natural world too, and like being respectful of nature and things like that we can learn too. So I don't know, there's just a lot of content, and we've been just really just been covering ourselves in witch content. So if you all know anything that's good, tell us if you think we're gonna miss it.
Now, just like our other books, though, we also delve into the filmmaking side. We talk to filmmakers, directors, writers, and then of course the science side. So like we're covering everything. You're going to learn so much. We're learning so much.
Yeah, I mean that's what, at the end of the day, that's what we love about doing this, is we get to learn, and we're nerds. And I mean, I just wish we need to find some sort of library from like Discovery of Witches style.
I know.
That's what we need to do.
I wrote a chapter on that, and sign me up.
Yes. I mean, yeah, if there's like some hot vampires in there too, but I also just like the idea of being in those old crusty books and like, I don't know, finding a spell in there and then it gives me a flat stomach or something.
That's what really matters.
I know, that's what's important. It's like world peace or give me a flat stomach. This is like a Tales from the Crypt episode or something, where I'm lean and then I like,
and Meg,
then my stomach starts like,
it's gonna be like thinner.
Following out. Yeah, it is gonna be like thinner, and then it's gonna become bones. I know. I'm sorry, you guys.
Oh, Meg, you've revealed your true self. Just kidding. On that note, come out and see us in 4 days if you're in New York City. Stay tuned for more.
If you're not, hop a plane and come see us.
Yeah.
What's your excuse?
Yeah, let's go. And then of course we mentioned our LA date. And PS, the Science of Serial Killers is up for pre-order, so you don't even have to wait till October. Like pre-order it now, and then it'll just show up in your mailbox.
And you'll be like, "Whoa, I forgot!" And then it'll be like a nice Christmas present. I'm sorry, Halloween present to yourself.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what I forgot to mention is that you have a book of short stories coming out in October as well.
Yes, I do. I'm really excited about it. Short stories are, I love doing all writing, but short stories have a particular distinct happiness for me, and they're all antique. So they all happen like during World War II or before. And that was really fun because again, I get to research and learn, and it was just, they're all feminist and they're all horror and gory, and I hope everyone likes them.
And it's called Twisted Reveries
3 Antique Tales or something like that. We don't have the exact title pinned down, but I think something like that. And yeah, I'm really excited. It's coming out, I think, October 23rd. So
keep your eyes peeled for that.
Yeah. So just like for all people, all indie authors, all the support I can get on that is awesome. And if that sounds like your thing, let me know too if you review books.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Okay, friends, happy June. And until next time, we'll see you in the horror section.
Bye.